Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with an educational video on how to time the market bottom. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. Do your own research. Today I just wanted to talk about timing market bottoms and what that means overall. And really, it's all contextual, as all trading is in general. Like, when you are deciding whether or not to take a trade and whether or not you are deciding if this is in fact a market bottom, everything is contextual. And there's a reason why I thought that the recent price action that we're seeing right now is a situation where we are seeing price consolidate for a long time and forming this bottom. So how do we decide what a bottom is and if there's going to be another leg down? Well, there's a few things that you can look for when you are deciding if this is in fact a market bottom and how long it takes for price to consolidate. So everybody knows a market bottom is where price has found a relative floor and it seems as if up is the only next direction. Now, from a macro standpoint, it could go up and then further down, but in the relative short term, this usually means that price will go up. So there are a few environments that you have to understand for a market bottom. For one, the market bottom usually consists of ranging price action, where price ping-pongs in two ranges and doesn't really move a whole lot. There's relatively low volatility, low volume, and this can usually be accumulation is another word for it in most cases, but again, it really depends on the context. Another big environmental factor is that these market bottoms usually form after a very big move up or a very big move down, and not really a big move up. Of course, that would be, tops don't look like that. Just after a big move down is really what I meant to say. The most classical example that we saw from a market bottom for BTC's price history, in my opinion, is the market bottom from the end of 2018 to 2019. We saw a massive move down from the $6,000 floor all the way down to $3,000, and price hit a relatively stable ranging environment for several months. As you can see, 133 days. Price ping-ponged and really did not have much movement between $3,000 and $4,000. This was a classical accumulation pattern overall, and this is a pattern that is seen throughout Bitcoin's price history. And there's a few reasons why this took so long as it did. For one, it was the end of the 2018 bear market and 2019 bear market, where price hit lower highs and lower lows across the board. And another big reason is that price had a massive move down from 6,000 all the way down to 3,000 in a relatively short amount of time. This big shakeout with very high sell volume, this was the last big move down. So this is a condition for an accumulation range. And you can really see another video of mine for accumulation ranges if you want to look more at some of the traits of that environment. But this video will primarily be discussing the length of time that you will observe market bottoms and how you can observe it in a context standpoint. So as I said, this was a move from the 2018 to 2019 bear to bull market, and price ranged for several months before having a big move up. Now, as I said before, there were several reasons why I thought that price currently would ping pong for quite some time. And again, it's all contextual. If you look to see back at September 2019, price moved down from 10,000 all the way back down to this 76K or 72K, 7,200 area, and then price relatively ranged for about a month. This is an example here where, again, big move down, one of the factors for a ranging environment, and then it it ranged for a 30-day period before having a kind of exit pump. This was the China pump in 2019. Again, after the big China pump, price slowly grinded back down and had a big wick down from 8,000 all the way down to 6,500. Big shakeout. And again, price ranged for 43 days before finding a recovery. Now, these two were obviously much shorter recovery periods than what we saw back in 2018 to 2019. And there's several reasons for that. But the main one is just that this was like the last big flush from the bear market into a bull market, in my opinion. It was just like a really big move down, and everyone was really bearish during this time. Things just really didn't look good from the move from 6K to 3K. And as I said, the bigger the move down, the more time you typically see price accumulating at. And because this was a big move down from 8K to 7,200, but contextually it wasn't as big of a deal as it was from 6 to 3K, in my opinion. So again, you'll see these types of bottoms forming even on very low time frames. And if you look to see on coins, and we'll go through a few examples later on for a few coins in very big bull market scenarios, you might just see these bottoms forming over less than a day before just continuing its trend. And it's really going to depend on the environment, again, for what these bottoms look like. But the bottoms that I'm showing you right now are kind of in these neutral kind of market structures. This one in 2019, this was a bearish market structure in the 1 day, where it's having lower highs and lower lows. And again, you can see price just ranging for 30 days. 2020 March was a little bit different because of the amount of liquidations relative to the market size. This was like a nasty shakeout. And because of that, you saw this like slow grinding price action that we haven't really seen at all in Bitcoin's price history. And it still ranged for really 41 days before it kind of hit this hit its former highs, relatively speaking. But if you look from a context standpoint, it really didn't move strongly for several months. I mean, yes, it went from 4 to 10,000. That's a great move, don't get me wrong. But after it hit this kind of 10K area, price consolidated for quite some time. And this was another reason why we saw decentralized finance summer in 2020, was that price had these small ranging environments. And again, as I said before, you typically see these environments after a big move up or a big move down. Here is a big move up where price blitzed up from 10,000 to 12,000. And then it ranged for 40 days and then it pulled back. Again, big move down from 12,000 all the way down to 9,700. And again, 35-day consolidation period. So what you can see in the most recent price history in 2021, where Bitcoin was very bullish, it went from 20 to 40,000 in a very short amount of time. And after that period, price took another several weeks to form a bottom. It took about 3 weeks to form this bottom, where price kind of pulled back a little bit and then it just ranged. Again, we saw this ranging bottom happen again in February of 2021. And later on, you can see these smaller bottoms here as well. But generally speaking, the longer that price ranges for a bottom, the larger its recovery will be, and or just like continuation. So what we saw here from a context standpoint in the end of 2021, we saw obviously this massive shakeout from $60,000 to $30,000, really big moves, lots of liquidations, and now price is chopping around for the last almost full month. Is this normal? Absolutely. This is completely normal. Again, from a context standpoint, if price has these big moves down, it usually takes a longer time to consolidate. So to me, I was always actually expecting this kind of consolidation period just because of how big of a move down this was from a context standpoint. sure, these moves down, like for instance, back in February from like 56,000 to 45, that was certainly a big move. But because of the overall trend being still very bullish, price didn't really consolidate very long and just continued its trend up. Now, with that said, had price gone from this 57K area to 40K and then it just chopped around for a while, say it did something like this, then we might have seen price go even higher than its highs at 65K. Again, the longer that price consolidates, the stronger the move up, typically speaking. So when you are considering timing the quote-unquote bottom, you have to understand the context of the environment, meaning that the bigger the move down, the longer that price usually needs to chop around. So after you see a big move down like this, you can generally expect price to chop around for quite some time. You can go outside, stop trading unless you are an expert scalper. If you are an expert scalper, then this environment will be great for you. So let's look briefly at some other ranging environments. Again, this is one that I always cite as well. This is Polkadot. Price had a big move up in earlier 2020. It didn't really have the chart because it had like a tokenomics restructure, I think, or I can't remember what happened. They changed the tokenomics quite a bit. But anyways, DOT went all the way up from $2 to $6 or $7 really quickly, and then it hit this ranging consolidation period. This was accumulation, and it ranged for several months. And again, from the move down from, it needed this move down from $7 all the way down to the mid threes in order to hit this consolidation period. And as prices move up big and then pull back after it has some violent retraces, then that's when the recovery period starts, typically speaking. But again, it depends on the overall environment. Like for instance, MATIC was super strong. And you'll see this for Solana too, where price will have these quick pullbacks and then just keep going. These sellers were getting absorbed, and if you can see on the lower time frame charts, these bottoms for coins like MATIC were so very short-lived because of how strong this coin was relative to the market. You could see that it didn't need these long accumulation periods that I was talking about before, just because of how strong this coin was in general. So again, context matters, environment matters, and it really just depends on the overall coin that you are discussing. Bitcoin usually takes a little bit longer to accumulate relative to altcoins just because of the market size and just kind of the overall market cap and the participants, and there would be needing more liquidity to actually move it strongly. But how can you use this in your trading? Well, you can use this in your trading by understanding that after big moves, you can understand that price needs time to reset and recover. You can use this in your trading knowing that you are about to hit a range-bound environment after a big move, typically speaking. And you can also use this in your trading in the sense that you can be more aggressive in very strong trending coins such as MATIC. When you see price pulling back and all of those dips getting bought up, you can understand that it's probably not going to enter this long consolidation period that you see on Bitcoin. It will just instead just keep going higher. And it depends again on the environment, and it depends on the coin, but those are some techniques that I use to identify kind of marking the market bottoms. Now, with that said, I don't necessarily know if this is the overall market bottom, so to speak. In the short term, I fully believe it is. I really strongly believe that 45 to 50,000 or even higher is going to come. With that said, after that, I have no idea. But I was fairly confident that this was the short-term market bottom because of how long these bottoms take to form in the past. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck.